Talk about the rural physician tax credit, something that I know you're championing right now, or an update to that credit. First of all, what is the rural physician tax credit and how did it get on your radar?
Well, we have an existing piece of legislation that's designed to recruit and retain physicians in rural areas. And what we're going to do is update it a little bit to compensate for inflation. We have a 1993 law that was intended to make the rural areas of Alabama a little more competitive for physicians. And face it, 1993 is a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to increase the amount of the tax credit, and we're going to redefine or actually define the areas where it will fit.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now. Let's talk a little bit about Representative Ed Oliver's brilliant plan to bring more doctors into the state of Alabama. Now, you're going to hear him say that the state of Alabama has a major healthcare crisis, and it's mostly rural Alabama, but let's not pretend there aren't problems across the entire state. But the answer here seems rather clear. They're trying to figure out, at least Representative Oliver is, according to his appearance on Capitol Journal this week, a state-funded television program that you pay for, and you pay for the writers to work there and on a private blog, but that's neither here nor there or for right now. But forget about that. Let's focus on the issue at hand. Ed Oliver, a state representative, said we need to increase the tax credit to doctors to work in areas that are underserved. Is he going far enough? I don't think that he is.
And what we want to do is we want to update it to $10,000 a year over a 4-year period. And we think that would encourage people to come and live and practice in a rural setting. I would like to add, though, that what we see from a practical level is that the kids that come from a rural area are much more likely to go to med school and come back to where they grew up. And that's the best way to get a rural physician. Second best is by offering a tax credit.
I think we need to have a serious conversation about removing taxes from these individuals to move to areas that are underserved. Now, what is underserved? In this conversation, he talks about living at Lake Martin and how it's hard to get old people to live there because they have health challenges and you can't get doctors there. Would you consider Lake Martin in the areas around that community to be underserved? Apparently he would. So let's decide, is that actually underserved because of how far it is to a medical facility because you don't have enough doctors there? If it is, well, you know what you do? You say, okay, we're going to allow 2 doctors to move in here, and the first 2 to move in, they don't have to pay any taxes. Now, you can decide how you want to do this. You can have a tax credit. That's what they already have right now. Clearly, that's not working, so they want to increase it. Let's go big and try to actually get a lot of doctors to move to areas, not only like Lake Martin, but also into the Black Belt and other areas that are underserved. Let's say no business taxes. Now, we're just talking about state. Okay, they're talking about the state income tax. And we can talk about that. We can talk about income taxes for them personally. But you can allow them to collect the taxes locally. Or the locals could have the ability to remove the taxes as well. Let's treat these doctors the same way we treat big corporations. If they're going to move into the area, let's move the earth to make sure that they're going to be taken care of because the overall benefit is far greater than collecting that tax revenue. Let them benefit. Treat them as if they are a desired caste. Now, we sit here and say that we'll bring in car manufacturers and all the plants that come around with them and other manufacturers, and we give them the world. Give the world to these doctors. There will be people that will move from out of state. You know how we know that? Because businesses do that. They move across the planet to come to the state of Alabama. And if you're giving them the store, just like you're giving to big businesses, then why wouldn't they come? Let's start promoting that. We might end up with too many doctors. And then, of course, the argument would be, well, what do you say about the doctors that are already here? Well, that's a simple fix as well. If there are doctors already in these communities and people move in and they get a 100% tax cut or whatever they're going to give them, then just go ahead and offer them, the people who are already there, half that same cut. See how simple it is? Make it a percentage, make it $1, make it whatever. If you want more of something, untax it. Just do that. And I think we'll be in a much better situation. And if we've got these problems, here's how you resolve it. It's not with $5,000 or $10,000 because these doctors are making tons of money. Give them a real economic incentive to move into these areas where there aren't any doctors, and then maybe they'll move into those areas where there aren't any doctors. But Dale, the general fund. But Dale, this, that, the other. Dale, the education. Who cares? There's nothing there now. Okay, just make sure they don't have to pay any taxes and you'll get more of them. The solution seems pretty simple. We do it with big business. Let's do it with doctors.